First tonight, the fashion retailer boohoo invited our cameras into its new factory in Leicester to see how the firm's being transformed. Well, boohoo's set up its own manufacturing centre after a series of scathing reports about exploitation by subcontractors. Now, the firm hopes it'll be a centre of excellence for the whole industry in Leicester, as our social affairs correspondent Jeremy Ball reports.
Sewing, printing and packing. Is this the future of one of Leicester's most traditional industries? Boohoo's reputation took a battering, but now it's fighting back. When they started advertising for workers here, 400 people turned up in a single hour. Some stunned they were being offered paid holidays and overtime.
You can see here on the floor today, it is still very manual. It's about bringing that manufacturing back into the UK, back into Leicester.
Boohoo's taken over this old car showroom on Thurmaston Lane. Today it opened its doors to show how it's trying to change. The talk today, sustainability, ethics and training in a factory fit for the future.
This certainly looks impressive. It's modern, it's airy. They're already producing 1,000 garments a day here and they want to double that in the next few weeks. But how much difference is it really making to workers on the shop floor?
Workers like Sandeep, who's one of the first 100 recruits here. Sandeep says this job's much more secure than the factory where she used to work. She likes the set hours and the training she's getting here too. And they're also using technology to cut costs and cut waste. Here they can print different logos on 200 t-shirts every hour. It's setting standards, they hope, for the whole of Leicester's fashion industry.
Almost developing that how-to guide. What can a supplier take away from visiting us here at Thurmaston Lane, and how can they implement some of those practices themselves?
Opening their own factory in Leicester sends a strong message, but boohoo still relies on subcontractors for most of the clothes it sells, and that relationship's changing too.
Something of a new start for boohoo, but after a series of critical reports, is it going to be enough? Well, Andrew Reeney's in charge of the company's product operations and responsible sourcing.
We've always been very, very open about the issues we've had in Leicester over the last couple of years. We're also very, very keen and very, very proud to support Leicester. And actually this, for us, is a physical manifestation of that commitment to Leicester. A strong Leicester isn't just about boohoo sourcing in Leicester, it's about other UK retailers.
This is very different, but people are going to say, is it just a rebrand?
Yeah, and categorically, absolutely, it is not a rebrand. There's a genuine commitment to obviously run this as a commercial operation and at the same time obviously do our bit to champion British manufacturing. Part of what we want to try to do here as well is encourage younger people into the industry, encourage the skill set, grow the skill set.
You've taken on 100 workers here so far, but you're still subcontracting a lot to other companies. And they're still under the same financial pressures to cut corners.
We're not sitting here and saying our supply chain is perfect. We don't believe anybody's is. But we've been very, very open about the journey we're on in Leicester, and hopefully this site is a manifestation of that. We've acquired some great British brands. Most of those brands had no British manufacturing. We are introducing our suppliers in Leicester and beyond Leicester in the UK to those brands. So from our perspective, we compete against those other suppliers.
You talk a lot about sustainability, but isn't the answer to that just to stop people buying stuff they don't need?
And we don't encourage them to buy stuff they don't need. What we find, and we've got our own research that says on the average our customers buy 3.5 garments per basket and only maybe shop with us three times a year. So it's not necessarily about conspicuous consumption, it's about your garment is made using ideally sustainable materials. Ideally it's made in the UK and it's built to last.
We talk about upskilling here, better pay, but we talk about automation too, and surely a lot of garment workers are going to be watching this thinking, this isn't about improving my conditions, this is about putting me out of a job.
You know, the irony of our industry is that we do rely on the humans. I've never met anybody that can, or anybody that can manufacture a garment better than your machinist. But at the same time, it is fair to say we will obviously look to incorporate as many processes and efficiencies as we possibly can. And why? One practical example of that: minimum wage has gone up to £9.50. So we all have to find ways to be operationally efficient.
Jeremy Ball reporting there.